Why is the silent movement of a deep ocean current more powerful than the crashing noise of a surface wave? In a world that screams for attention, true power is not found in the noise you make, but in the strategic, deliberate silence you keep. This is the ancient secret to building unshakable influence. Move in silence and build power, Stoicism. Compiled and published by Stoic Power. Lesson 1. The power of strategic silence. Imagine a deep-sea submarine, a vessel of immense and formidable power. It does not announce its presence with loud horns or bright lights. Its power is derived from its stealth, its ability to move unseen and unheard through the crushing pressure of the abyss. Its silence is not a sign of weakness or absence, but a profound statement of its strength, its purpose, and its control over its environment. This is the power of strategic silence. This video explores Stoic wisdom as a path to emotional mastery, mental strength, and fearless living, empowering you to unleash your inner strength and remain unshaken no matter what life throws at you. In our modern world, however, we are caught in a deep and relatable inner conflict. We believe that to be seen as powerful, valuable, and important, we must be loud. We feel a constant pressure to announce our plans, to voice our opinions, to broadcast our achievements, and to fill every available space with the sound of our own presence. We fear that if we are silent, we will be overlooked, underestimated, or forgotten. This compulsion to be noisy is a critical and common challenge that people face in the context of self-discipline. The problem is that this constant broadcasting of our intentions has the opposite of its intended effect. When you reveal your plans prematurely, you invite the unnecessary opinions, the jealousy, and the potential sabotage of others. You also trick your own brain. The momentary social validation you get from talking about your goals can feel so satisfying that it reduces your actual motivation to achieve them. Furthermore, a man who is always talking, who reveals everything, is a man with no mystery, no depth, and no perceived power. He is the crashing wave, not the deep ocean current. The transformative solution is to embrace the mindset of the submarine commander. It is the Stoic habit of cultivating strategic silence, of understanding that true power is built in the quiet depths, not performed in the noisy shallows. The core idea is rooted in the Stoic virtue of temperance, which includes the mastery of one's own speech. The philosopher Epictetus famously advised, "Be silent for the most part, or, if you speak, say only what is necessary and in a few words." This is not about being antisocial or withdrawn. It is about understanding that your words are a precious resource to be used with precision and purpose. Silence conserves your energy, protects your plans from external interference, and creates an aura of profound confidence and mystery. It communicates that you are a person of action, not of mere talk. This ancient wisdom feels alive because it offers a direct antidote to the noisy desperation of the modern world. To begin harnessing this power, you must become a disciplined guardian of your own words. The first actionable step is to practice the art of the meaningful pause. In conversations, deliberately pause for a second or two before you speak. This will not only make your words more thoughtful, but will also make you appear more composed and in control. The second step is to keep your major goals and ambitions to yourself. Let your results be the announcement. Work in silence and let your success make the noise. The third step is to become an exceptional listener. The most powerful person in any room is often not the one talking the most, but the one listening most intently, gathering information while others are expending energy. The benefits of applying these actions are a profound shift in how you are perceived and how you operate in the world. You will conserve immense amounts of mental energy, protecting your focus and resolve. You will find that when you do speak, your words carry significantly more weight and authority. You will cultivate an aura of mystery and depth that people will find both intriguing and respectable. You become the submarine, your silent movement hinting at a powerful purpose hidden beneath the surface. Your call to action is to choose one goal or project you are currently working on. For the next week, your mission is to not speak about it to anyone. Pour all the energy you would have used for talking into the work itself. Feel the power that comes from quiet, focused action. This strategic silence is the outer expression of an inner state. To maintain this silence effectively, especially under pressure, you must first build a foundation of unshakable inner discipline. This leads us to the next crucial lesson: cultivating the emotional core of a warrior. If you are ready to master the power of silence, please like this video and subscribe to the Stoic Power channel for more timeless strategies. Lesson 2. Cultivating inner emotional discipline. Imagine a quiet, disciplined fire burning steadily in a stone hearth. It does not rage out of control like a wildfire, consuming everything in a chaotic blaze. Nor does it flicker and die at the slightest breeze. It provides consistent light and warmth, day and night, because it is contained, controlled, and well-tended. Its power comes from its discipline. This is the nature of the warrior's emotional core. For most of us, however, our inner world is not this steady flame. We are in a state of constant inner conflict, where our emotions are like a volatile wildfire, flaring up with anger, anxiety, or excitement in response to every external event. We are at the mercy of our own inner weather, our peace and focus constantly disrupted by our own emotional storms. This lack of inner emotional discipline is a critical and painful problem. A man who is not the master of his own emotions cannot be the master of his own life. His energy is constantly consumed by the drama of his own inner state, leaving him little left over for purposeful action. His decisions are clouded by his passions, and his reactions are unpredictable, making him an unreliable force in the world. He cannot move in silence and build power, because his inner world is a constant, raging noise that inevitably spills out into his words and actions. The transformative solution is the Stoic habit of becoming the tender of your own inner fire. It is the daily practice of cultivating emotional discipline, of learning to feel your emotions without being consumed by them, so that you can maintain a state of inner calm and readiness, regardless of external circumstances. The core idea is rooted in the Stoic concept of the inner citadel. The warrior knows that his greatest fortress is his own mind, and the most dangerous enemy is not the army outside the walls, but the emotional rebellion within them. Through inner stillness and steadfast thinking, the video guides viewers to become resilient, draw strength from within, and live with unshakable confidence. This practice, which the Stoics called apatheia, is not about becoming a cold, emotionless robot. It is about achieving a state of tranquility where you are free from the grip of disturbing, irrational passions. It is the freedom to choose your response rather than being dictated to by your feelings. To cultivate this inner fire, you must become its disciplined keeper. The first actionable step is the daily practice of emotional observation. For 5 minutes each morning, sit quietly and simply notice the emotional weather within you without judgment. Is it calm? Is it turbulent? Just observe. This builds the crucial separation between you, the observer, and your emotions, the observed. The second step is to apply the strategic pause in the heat of the moment. When you feel a strong emotion rising, you must train yourself to create a space before you react. In that space, take one deep breath. This is the act of putting a fire guard in front of the flame. The third step is to engage in a logical self-dialogue. Ask your emotion, are you based on fact or on my own judgment? Are you helpful to my purpose? Questioning the emotion subjects it to the authority of your reason. The benefits of this practice are the development of a profound and unshakable inner peace. You will find that you can face life's challenges with a calm and steady heart. Your decisions will become infinitely wiser because they will be based on clarity, not chaos. You will become a source of calming strength for others, a steady hearth in a cold and unpredictable world. Your power will grow immensely because you will no longer be wasting your energy fighting yourself. Your call to action is to choose your one dominant, disruptive emotion, be it anger, anxiety, or frustration. For the next week, your sole mission is to catch it every time it arises. When you feel it, simply pause, take one breath, and silently say to yourself, I see you, but I am in control. This is the first step in taming the wildfire. This inner emotional discipline is the foundation for moving in silence. Once your inner world is quiet, you can begin to perceive the outer world with a new and powerful clarity. This leads us to the next lesson: learning to read situations like a Stoic master. We invite you to comment below with the emotion you will commit to mastering, and please remember to subscribe to the Stoic Power channel. Lesson 3. Reading situations with Stoic clarity. Imagine an expert tracker moving silently through a dense wilderness. He is not just looking, he is seeing. To the untrained eye, the forest floor is a meaningless jumble of leaves and dirt. But the tracker reads it like a book. He sees the subtle signs: a bent twig, a faint footprint, the disturbed pattern of the leaves. And from these quiet details, he understands the full story of what has passed. He knows what animals are near, where they are going, and what their intentions are. His power comes from his ability to read the situation with absolute clarity. This is how the silent warrior learns to read the world of men. We, however, are often in an inner conflict where we move through our lives with clouded vision. We are so caught up in the noise of our own thoughts, our own biases, and our own emotional reactions that we fail to see the reality of the situation in front of us. We project our own fears and desires onto the world, and then we react to our own projections, not to the truth. This inability to read situations clearly is a critical and dangerous problem. It leads to constant misunderstandings, foolish mistakes, and missed opportunities. We misinterpret people's intentions, we fail to see hidden threats, and we are blind to golden opportunities that are right in front of us. A man who cannot see the world clearly cannot act effectively within it. He is like a blindfolded fighter, swinging wildly and hoping to land a blow, but more often than not hitting nothing but air and leaving himself dangerously exposed. The transformative solution is the Stoic habit of cultivating objective clarity. It is the practice of stripping away your own subjective judgments and emotional biases to see the world and the people in it exactly as they are. The core idea is based on one of the most fundamental Stoic practices: the discipline of assent. The great philosopher Epictetus taught that we are not disturbed by events, but by the judgments we make about them. The warrior in training learns to separate the raw, objective event from the subjective story he tells himself about it. For example, my boss criticized my work in the meeting is an objective event. My boss humiliated me and is trying to get me fired is a subjective, emotional story. The power lies in learning to see the first part without automatically adding the second. This practice of clear seeing, or prosoche, is the foundation of all wise action. To develop this tracker's eye for reality, you must become a rigorous examiner of your own mind. The first actionable step is to practice objective description. When you are in a difficult situation, mentally describe it to yourself as if you were a documentary filmmaker, using only neutral, factual language. The man's voice is raised, his fists are clenched. Do not add, he is an angry jerk. Just state the facts. The second step is to consider the other person's perspective, not to agree with it, but to understand it. Ask yourself, what might their motivations be? What fears or desires might be driving their actions? This replaces emotional reaction with analytical strategy. The third step is to zoom out. Use the view from above, imagining the situation from a great distance. From the perspective of your entire life or from the perspective of the city, how significant is this one moment? This shrinks the emotional charge and enhances clarity. The benefits of this habit are the development of a kind of social and strategic superpower. You will stop being a pawn in other people's games and become a master strategist in your own life. You will avoid countless unnecessary conflicts. You will build stronger relationships based on genuine understanding, and you will be able to spot opportunities that are invisible to others. You will move through the world with a calm, confident clarity, knowing that you are seeing the board as it truly is. Your call to action is to apply this to one interaction today. In your next conversation, your primary goal is not to be heard, but to understand. Listen so intently that you could accurately summarize the other person's position, motivations, and feelings to their complete satisfaction. This is the first step in learning to see, not just to look. When you can see the world with this level of clarity, your actions take on a new power. You stop wasting energy on pointless noise and begin to build real influence, not through what you say, but through what you consistently do. This is the focus of our next lesson. If you have found this lesson valuable, please like this video and share your thoughts on the power of clarity in the comments below. Lesson 4. Building influence through consistent actions. Picture the slow, silent growth of a giant redwood tree in an ancient forest. It does not shout to announce its progress. It does not compete with the other trees for attention. Day by day, year by year, it simply engages in the consistent, silent action of its own growth, sinking its roots deeper, reaching its branches higher. Over decades and centuries, its sheer presence, its undeniable substance, comes to dominate the entire forest. It provides shelter, it creates an ecosystem, and its influence is a quiet, gravitational fact, born not from words, but from its persistent, silent action. This is how the Stoic warrior builds true influence. Many of us, however, are in an inner conflict where we believe that influence is something we must actively seek and loudly proclaim. We talk about our achievements, we network frantically, we try to persuade and convince, believing that our words are the primary tool for building our power and reputation. The problem with this approach is that a reputation built on words is as fragile as a house of cards. People may be momentarily impressed by your talk, but they will ultimately judge you on your actions. When your words and your actions are not aligned, or when your words far outstrip your actions, you do not build influence. You build a reputation for being unreliable and inauthentic. You become the noisy sapling that promises to be a great tree but never actually grows. The transformative solution is to embrace the wisdom of the redwood. It is the Stoic habit of focusing entirely on consistent, virtuous action and letting your influence grow as a natural, inevitable byproduct of the substance you build. The core idea is one of the most powerful in all of Stoicism. Let your deeds, not your words, be your creed. The philosopher Seneca wrote, "I will not show you a wise man's house shining with marble and gold. I will show you a man whose greatness of soul is undeniable." The Stoics believed that true influence is not about persuasion, it is about character. A man of exceptional character, demonstrated through his consistent actions, develops a natural authority. People are drawn to him, they trust him, and they are influenced by him, not because of what he says, but because of who he has proven himself to be. To begin building this action-based influence, you must shift your focus from presentation to practice. The first actionable step is the rule of show, don't tell. If you want to be known as disciplined, don't talk about your discipline. Simply let people see your consistent results. If you want to be known as reliable, don't promise reliability. Simply be the person who always does what they say they will do. The second step is to focus on your own circle of control. Pour all of your energy into the quality of your own work and your own character, which you control completely, and pay zero attention to your reputation, which you do not. The third step is to practice excellence in small things. True character is revealed not in the grand gestures, but in how you handle the small, daily tasks when no one is watching. The benefits of this habit are the creation of an unbreakable, authentic form of influence. Your reputation will become rock solid, built on the undeniable evidence of your actions. You will be free from the anxiety of managing other people's perceptions, because you will know that your character speaks for itself. You will attract opportunities and high-quality people who are drawn to your substance, not your style. You become the giant redwood, your quiet presence shaping the entire forest around you. Your call to action is to choose one quality you want to be known for, whether it's diligence, creativity, or integrity. For the next week, your mission is to not speak about this quality at all. Instead, find one small opportunity each day to demonstrate it through a concrete action. Let your actions be your only spokesman. To act with such consistency requires a tremendous amount of focused energy. In a world full of distractions, this energy is constantly under siege. To move in silence and build power, you must become a master at guarding your most precious resource. This is the focus of our next crucial lesson. Remember to subscribe to Stoic Power to continue your journey toward authentic influence. Lesson 5. Guarding energy from hidden distractions. Imagine a well-guarded medieval fortress. Its high walls and strong gates are designed to repel the obvious, overt attacks of an enemy army. But the wise commander of the fortress knows that the greatest threat is often not the battering ram at the gate, but the silent saboteur who slips over the walls in the dead of night to poison the well. The well is the fortress's source of life, its energy. If the well is poisoned, the fortress will fall from within, no matter how strong its walls. Your mind is this fortress, and your mental and emotional energy is your well. Most of us are in an inner conflict where we focus on fighting the obvious distractions in our lives, the noise, the interruptions. But we are completely oblivious to the silent, hidden distractions that are slowly poisoning our well from within. This is a critical problem because these hidden distractions are often the most dangerous. They are the slow leaks of energy that leave us feeling drained, unfocused, and unmotivated, without us even realizing why. These saboteurs include things like engaging in pointless gossip, consuming negative media, holding on to old grudges, and worrying about things that are completely outside of our control. Each of these activities is like a small dose of poison to our well, slowly depleting the vital energy we need to move in silence and build power. The transformative solution is to become the wise commander of your own inner fortress. It is the Stoic habit of not only defending against the loud, external attacks on your focus, but also vigilantly guarding your inner well from the silent, hidden poisons that drain your energy. The core idea is rooted in the Stoic dichotomy of control. The warrior knows that his energy and attention are his most precious resources, the very lifeblood of his power. He understands that it is his sacred duty to protect these resources and to invest them only in things that are within his circle of control. Wasting energy on gossip, grudges, or the outrage of the day is, for a Stoic, a profound act of self-sabotage. It is like willingly drinking from a poisoned well. This ancient wisdom is a powerful guide for navigating the information-saturated modern world. To become a vigilant guardian of your energy, you must first identify the poisons. The first actionable step is to conduct an energy audit. For one day, keep a log of all your activities and interactions and note how each one makes you feel. Which conversations left you feeling energized? Which ones left you feeling drained? Which content did you consume that made you feel inspired and which made you feel agitated or cynical? The second step is to be ruthless in eliminating the poisons. This may mean unfollowing negative people on social media, distancing yourself from friends who only gossip, or making a conscious choice to stop consuming a particular type of news. The third step is to actively replenish your well. Spend time in nature, engage in deep work, have meaningful conversations, and practice gratitude. These are the sources of clean, powerful energy. The benefits of this habit are a massive and noticeable increase in your daily energy, focus, and positivity. You will plug the hidden leaks that were draining your power, leaving you with a huge surplus of energy to invest in your goals. You will feel a new sense of inner cleanliness and clarity, as if you have detoxified your mind. Your fortress will become truly strong, not just on the outside, but from the inside out. Your call to action is to identify your single biggest source of poison. What is the one activity, person, or type of content that consistently drains your energy the most? For the next 3 days, your mission is to completely fast from it. Experience what it feels like to stop poisoning your own well. Guarding your energy allows you to build power internally. But how does this translate to the external world? How do you project this power and strengthen your authority without needing the noisy validation of public approval? This is the next step in our journey. If you found this lesson helpful, please like the video and share your commitment to eliminating a source of poison in the comments below. Lesson 6. Strengthening authority without public approval. Imagine the sun at the center of our solar system. Its authority is absolute. Its immense gravity holds planets, moons, and asteroids in their orbits. It does not need to ask the planets for their approval. It does not pull them to see if they still consider it the center. It does not change its nature based on their opinions. The sun's authority is not granted by others. It is an intrinsic quality of its own massive, powerful nature. It simply is the center, and its authority is a fact. This is how the Stoic warrior builds his authority. For most of us, however, we are in an inner conflict, believing that our authority and our right to lead or be respected is something that is given to us by others. We constantly seek public approval. We water down our principles to be more likable, and we measure our worth by the number of followers or admirers we have. The problem with this mindset is that it makes your authority incredibly fragile and inauthentic. A leader who is constantly looking over his shoulder for approval is not a leader. He is a follower of his own followers. His authority can be taken away at any moment by a shift in public opinion. This makes him weak, indecisive, and ultimately not worthy of the very respect he so desperately craves. He is a planet trying to pretend it is a sun. The transformative solution is to embrace the mindset of the sun. It is the Stoic habit of building your authority from an internal source, grounding it in your own character, principles, and competence, and becoming completely indifferent to the praise or criticism of the crowd. The core idea is one of the most liberating in all of Stoicism. Virtue is the sole good. A person's true worth, and therefore their true authority, comes from their unwavering commitment to wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. This is the only approval that matters. The warrior's authority is the natural radiance of a well-lived life. It is the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you are living in alignment with your own highest principles. This is an authority that no one can give you and no one can take away. This ancient wisdom provides the blueprint for becoming a true, natural leader. To begin building this internal authority, you must stop seeking external validation. The first actionable step is to define your own inner constitution. Write down the principles and values that will govern your life's decisions. This document is now the only authority you need to answer to. The second step is to make decisions based on this constitution, not on polls of public opinion. Do what you believe is right, even if it is unpopular. The third step is to practice what the Stoics called indifference to things outside your control, which includes the opinions of others. When you receive praise, accept it calmly without letting it inflate your ego. When you receive criticism, analyze it for any truth, but do not let it disturb your inner peace. The benefits of this habit are the development of a profound, unshakable, and authentic authority. People will be drawn to your stability and your integrity. They will trust you and respect you on a much deeper level, because they will sense that your authority comes from a real and unchanging source. You will be free from the exhausting and demeaning game of trying to please everyone, allowing you to focus your energy on effective, principle-based action. You become the sun, and the right people will naturally be drawn into your orbit. Your call to action is to identify one recent decision you made that was influenced by your desire for approval. Now, ask yourself, what decision would I have made if I were guided only by my own core principles? This simple question is the beginning of reclaiming your own authority. You now have all the tools to build power in silence. But there is one final, master virtue that governs the use of all these tools. It is the virtue that separates the novice from the master, the virtue that turns silent action into lasting power. This is the virtue of patience. If you're ready to become the source of your own authority, please like this video and subscribe to Stoic Power. Lesson 7. Mastering patience for lasting power. Imagine a master strategist playing a long and complex game of chess against a worthy opponent. He does not rush his moves. He does not grow frustrated if his initial attacks are repelled. He is a portrait of profound patience. He is willing to sacrifice a pawn, to retreat, to wait for many moves, all while holding a clear vision of his ultimate victory. His power comes not from quick, aggressive attacks, but from his ability to see further ahead than his opponent and to patiently wait for the perfect moment to strike. This is how the Stoic warrior masters patience for lasting power. For many of us, however, we are in a state of inner conflict. where we treat life like a game of checkers, not chess. We are addicted to instant gratification and immediate results. We grow impatient and frustrated when our plans do not unfold quickly, and this impatience causes us to make foolish, short-sighted moves that ultimately lead to our defeat. This lack of patience is a critical problem in a world that requires long-term vision and sustained effort to achieve anything of great value. Impatience is a form of fear. The fear that if we don't get what we want now, we will never get it. This fear makes us anxious, reactive, and prone to abandoning our most important goals right before they are about to bear fruit. A man who lacks patience cannot build anything that lasts, whether it is a business, a skill, or a meaningful relationship. The transformative solution is to cultivate the master strategist's mindset. It is the Stoic habit of mastering patience, of understanding that true power is not about speed, but about timing, and that the greatest victories belong to those who can endure the long game. The core idea is rooted in the Stoic understanding of the rational and ordered nature of the cosmos. The Stoics knew that everything unfolds according to its own natural timeline. You cannot force a seed to become a great tree overnight. The warrior aligns himself with this natural order. He does his work with diligence, and then he patiently allows time and cause and effect to do their part. This patience is not a passive waiting. It is an active, confident trust in the process and in one's own consistent efforts. It is the ultimate expression of the view from above, the ability to see the long arc of your life and not get lost in the urgency of the present moment. To master this final virtue, you must practice a long-term perspective. The first actionable step is to plant trees for another generation. Engage in actions whose benefits you may not see for a long time. Read a difficult book. Learn a complex skill. Build a relationship based on trust, not just excitement. The second step is to find joy in the process, not just the outcome. The strategist enjoys the intellectual challenge of the game itself, not just the moment of checkmate. Learn to love the daily practice of your craft. The third step is to practice active waiting. When you are waiting for a result, do not just sit and worry. Use that time to prepare for the next phase, to sharpen your skills, to build your other projects. The benefits of mastering patience are the achievement of lasting power and profound wisdom. You will stop chasing short-term wins and start building a legacy. You will be able to handle setbacks and delays with a calm and unflappable spirit, knowing they are just part of the long game. You will make infinitely better strategic decisions in all areas of your life, because you will be operating on a longer timeline than everyone around you. You become the master strategist, quietly positioning your pieces for a victory that is not just total, but inevitable. Your call to action is to identify one area in your life where you are feeling impatient. For the next week, your only goal in that area is to take one small, consistent action each day, and then to completely release your attachment to the immediate outcome. Practice the art of patient, deliberate work. By mastering strategic silence, emotional discipline, clarity, action-based influence, energy preservation, internal authority, and finally this profound patience, you complete the transformation. You learn to move in silence and build a power that is not only immense, but enduring. True power is not built in the noise of self-promotion, but in the deep, disciplined silence of self-mastery. By guarding your words, controlling your emotions, and focusing on relentless, consistent action, you become a force of nature, a silent power that shapes the world through quiet, unshakable strength. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. We gently remind viewers to like, comment, and subscribe to the Stoic Power channel for more wisdom on building an indestructible life.